Hi and good morning. At least it's morning here where I am. I hope you are having a good day, a good night, and getting ready for this energizing yin flow. I prepared this class thinking in the morning when we need to kind of like start our day with a little bit more energy. So today we're going to be practicing some back bends that in nature are energizing, even though we're going to practice them in a yin way, meaning that we're going to be holding poses for a bit longer than we will do if we were practicing other styles of yoga. So for this class, we may need something to support the first pose. So maybe a block or a strong hard pillow, or what I did today is I have a towel. So I roll it very tightly and it's gonna give me a good support for that. So please take your time, go find the prop, and whenever you're ready, please find a comfortable seated position and meet me here on the mat. My name is Eli, and I'm very happy to have you in another yin yoga class. Good, so we're going to start. As you know, I have the timer here, so we keep the time for each pose as even as possible. So we're gonna place the prop. We're gonna be supporting our sacrum, that part. There's some people call it flat part of the spine, which is not flat. Actually, we have spinous processes there. But it's the part of the spine where the vertebrae are fused together. So it has a good support. So it's that part in between the two pelvises. So let's find that part, and we're gonna be moving that part, the sacrum, into the towel or the prop that you may have there, and then extending the legs. Hopefully something that is not too high, so you feel comfortable in this supportive bridge. Perhaps closing your eyes. We're gonna use this first pose also as that space when we arrive on the mat, letting go of any expectation, letting go of anything that has happened till now. Relaxing the body, allowing your feet to drop out or in, depending on the natural placement of the femur in your hip socket. Being aware of your breath, your natural pattern of breathing without changing anything, just observing what happens when you inhale and exhale. Where the air goes, is it superficial or you take it all the way down to your belly? And scanning your body from toes to your ankles, your shins, your knees, the hips, the spine, your chest, your shoulders, elbows, hands, your neck, and your face. Checking in with your body to see how you feel. If you are practicing this early morning, as I am, perhaps the body feels a little stiff from 8 hours of sleep. We haven't moved much for a few hours. So you want to give some space, some time for the asanas to start working on those deep connective tissues. Today, as I said, we're going to be doing some poses that are in nature energizing. They have like a more yang energy. Even though we're going to be in the stillness, holding them for 2 to 3 minutes to obtain the benefits of practicing poses in a yin way, with a yin attitude. And hopefully to carry on that energy, those benefits through the day. And as I always said, it doesn't matter when you're practicing yin. Perhaps you decided to practice this in the afternoon because your day has been a little slow and you need to feel a little bit of energy to finish your day. So that's completely okay. There's no set time, specific time to do your practice. Practice whenever you have time and space. So 3 minutes have passed. Very gently, we're gonna bend the knees to let go of the prop, so lifting your pelvis and gently removing the block or the pillow, whatever you were using to support this pose. Just allow your knees to come together for a moment. Pause in here. Remember, it's always important to pause in between poses. In this case, we're neutralizing the spine. We are observing what is happening in the lumbar area. We were contracting the posterior part of the spine to open up the anterior part and also to help the hips to extend in a supported way. Very gently and softly, we're going to start moving to the next pose. So you can actually roll over. You don't need to move too much. You can roll over to come onto your belly. I'm just gonna come to this side. Finding your way to your abdomen. So because you were already on your back, just roll over. I think it's easier to do that. We're gonna come to Sphinx, another back bend. Placing your elbows aligned with your shoulders, and you can keep your hands together. That changes what is happening on the shoulders. And perhaps closing your eyes or finding a focal point in front of you that is going to help you to come inwards, to focus inside. The less we move the eyes, the less the mind will move. We have a little friend there in the back, a bird. The beauty of shooting outdoors, you never know which animal is going to join your practice. In this pose, in Sphinx, and in the next one that is seal pose, I always advise you to see what works for your neck. Not necessarily all the time dropping the head suits you. Sometimes it does. So see how you feel today, if dropping your head down will suit your neck. Otherwise, you can keep your head aligned with the rest of the spine. Also keeping your muscles engaged to depress your scapula, so we create a space between the shoulders and the ears. We're not collapsing on the shoulders. Your glutes are soft. Your legs are soft. Your abdomen perhaps is also soft, allowing the gravity to bring your lower back deeper and deeper into the pose. You may feel some discomfort in that area, especially if you sit a lot during the day. When we sit, the lumbar spine, the curvature, the natural curvature of the spine kind of like disappears. It comes a little bit more, it flattens. That area become a little bit flat. So if you spend a lot of time seated, it's important to practice some poses that is going to help the posture to come back to its natural shape. So we'll allow you to finish the pose in silence. And mindfully, we're going to drop the head down, making a pillow with your hands. Just allowing your spine to come to a neutral position.
Observe how your lumbar spine feels. Observe any sensation, any feeling around that area. And for the next pose, we have options. I always like to give you options so you can actually choose what suits you better. So we can come back to the previous pose. You can do a Sphinx, same that we did before, for another 3 minutes. Or you can choose to come into your hands. So you can place your hands in both corners of the mat, lifting your torso to come into seal pose. What varies is that the position of the arms and the hands changes the depth of the pose. So the closer your hands to you, the deeper you will go into the pose. We will be here for about 3 minutes. Keeping the legs and the hips soft and relaxed. You can gaze down or close your eyes. Align your head with the rest of the spine or drop it down. Sphinx and seal are very similar poses. They actually target exactly the same area. What changes is because we change the position of the arms. One brings greater stress to the lumbar spine than the other one. So it's important to observe how much is too much and how much is too little, or how much is just right for our body in today's practice. Tomorrow may be different. We have 1 more minute to go. You can decide to stay wherever you are, or perhaps going back to Sphinx, or if you're in Sphinx, maybe try and seal and coming onto your hands. It's totally your choice. I'm gonna stay here for the remaining time in this pose. And time's up. Let's start moving our torso down, making a pillow with our hands, and resting our forehead on our hands. Observing, noticing, pausing. Gently, we're gonna start coming back up. I'm gonna push our body up into tabletop in order to transition to the next pose, which is one variation of dragon. We're gonna come into this twisted dragon. So we're gonna bring the right foot forward. And what we're gonna do is actually, we're going to allow this knee to drop to one side. It's gonna drop to the right side. We're gonna use the hand, kind of like gently resting the hand there. We're not gonna actively push the knee down, and the other one can stay on the floor. So I'll offer you options as well. So you can put both hands on the floor and just drop the knee out. That is option 1. You can keep your left hand on the floor and just start moving your torso towards the knee and placing your hand on that side. Or And you can start coming all the way down onto your forearm and then placing your right hand on top of the right knee. Your foot is off the floor. We're only on the edge of the right foot, and you are facing upwards. So this pose has a bit more yang elements. A lot of muscles are active in order to support the pose, but the muscles around the hip joint, the lumbar spine are relaxed. This is the area that we are targeting. So I wanted to do always after practicing backbends it's a good idea to practice some twist. So today, because we are aiming to energize the body in a yin way, which can sound a little contradictory, I wanted to offer a twist that has a little bit yang energy in it. We're gonna be here for about 2 minutes, so 1 minute has passed. Again, remember, we're not pushing the knee down, we're just resting the hand on the knee. Keeping your hips and your lower back soft and relaxed. A few more seconds to go. And very carefully, we're going to start coming out of the pose. So help yourself to bring your torso upright, bringing your knee in. And we're going to start bringing your right foot back into tabletop. Pausing in tabletop. Pausing here. Just allow some time to your body to reorganize before moving into the other side. Good. So now the left foot comes to the front. Again, I'm going to guide you over the options. So we can have both hands on the floor. You can just drop the knee. That is option 1. You can also stay on your right hand. Just bring your left hand on top of your knee, just resting here, or being on your forearm a little bit lower here and facing up to the ceiling or the sky. As you can see, the foot is not flat on the floor. I'm on the edge of the foot, so the knee can opens up. You may want to close your eyes or just find a focal point if you have any. And just keep your hips, lumbar spine soft so the gravity can actually take you deeper and deeper into the pose. This is a great way also to stretch the lateral side of your hip, and also we're working with the piriformis, which is a muscle that is attached from the sacrum to the femur. Important muscle because underneath that muscle we have the sciatic nerve. So it's good to have that muscle strong and elastic, flexible at the same time. Actually 30 seconds here. And time's up. We're gonna gently start moving out of the pose, bringing your hands down to the mat, and your leg is going to meet the other one. pausing in tabletop. Pause here for a moment. And now bringing your heels, your hips down to the floor for a short child pose. This is a great way to do what we have been doing in the previous poses. So we are now flexing the spine. We have been extending the spine for a while, which is kind of like the theme of today's practice. Some back bends so we can feel a little bit more energized at the end of the practice. For the next pose, we're going to come into tabletop. Let's try to keep your hips aligned with your knees. We're going to come into melting heart pose. This is a symmetrical pose where both arms are doing the same, but I will give you the option to do the asymmetrical version when we are flexing one elbow. That tends to release some of the tension that you may feel in that area. So walk your hands forward. So options to bend your right elbow or the left one, whatever you decide first, and rest your forehead on that forearm. I will let you know when we are halfway so you can change. Let me have the time there. Otherwise, we will be here for about 3 minutes. There is better. Keeping your eyes closed. Remember, maybe some of us, the head is coming all the way down. Maybe it's not. Perhaps you're placing your forehead or your chin on the floor. Maybe your chest is down on the floor. It all depends on the mobility of your shoulder joints and the spine. But whatever you are, just be. Enjoy. Observe. With no expectations. If you're doing the asymmetrical version, this is the time to change arms. So extending the arm that you flexed and flexing the opposite. Observe if gravity is moving you to the next edge. It's giving you space. If it remains the same. Always try to come back inwards, back inside. To be an observer of a witness of what is happening in your body, in your mind, in your heart. Have a few more seconds to go here. And mindfully, softly, start moving your torso back up. We will meet in tabletop where we are pausing, stopping for a moment. And we will go back into child pose. For this child pose, I suggest you to bring your knees together because we want to have the opposite effect of the back bend. So we want to have the flexion, and that happens better when the knees are together so we can round the spine. Bring your knees, your hips all the way down to your heels. We will be here for about 2 minutes. Your hands can rest softly on the floor, or you can bring your hands actually behind you so you can actually release any tension that we may have in the elbows and the shoulders from the previous pose.
If your hips don't make it to your heels, that's perfectly okay. It's quite common. Just allow the weight of your body to bring your hips lower and closer to your feet. Just don't hold. Remember, we want to relax the muscles. We want to soften the body so the time and the gravity will take us deeper and deeper. Child pose is in nature a yin pose. It has a yin quality because it helps us to withdraw the senses, to calm inwards, to reconnect, to feel calm and safe. Observe how your body and your mind feels when you are in this private, intimate space. A few more moments before we let go of the pose.
Coming back to be on your heels, just stopping for a moment, allow the blood to come back down. This was a mild inversion, so stop here for a moment. And we're gonna prepare for the last pose. So bring your weight to one side to extend your legs. We're finding our Shavasana. We will practice together a short Shavasana of about 2 minutes. But as I always said, if you have more time, please stay there for a bit longer. Allow your body to feel heavy, soft on the mat, letting go your hands, softening your head, your neck, your chest, your shoulders, your arms, your hips, your thighs, your knees, your ankles. Just let them go. Allow your toes to drop out or in. Just simply softly be wherever they naturally will go. Dissolving with every breath, feeling heavier and heavier. I will be here with you, but I will be in silence. So if you don't hear me for a few minutes, don't worry, just enjoy your Shavasana. You can stay here for a bit longer. Or you can start coming out of the pose by wiggling your toes and your fingers, allowing some movement to your feet and your hands, lengthening and stretching your body, awakening, preparing for the rest of the day. So bending your knees and dropping your body to one side just to slowly come back up. Finding a comfortable seated position. Good. I feel that this practice will help you to go with a different energy during the day. Whatever you need to do today, drink water, keep yourself hydrated. We have been stressing connective tissues that are kind of like plastic and stiff. So we want to keep moisturizing that area. So drink water, and I hope you enjoyed the rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice, and I will see you back here very soon. Thank you. I'm so happy you practiced this class, and I hope that it gave you a glimpse of what Yin Yoga is. If you would like to establish a daily practice, I would like to invite you to join my 30-day Yin Yoga for Beginners program. For 30 days, we will practice 10 minutes of Yin Yoga with a different emphasis per day. And believe me, 10 minutes every day will give you more benefits than 1 hour once or twice a week. At the end of the 30 days, you would have created the discipline to practice Yin Yoga as part of your lifestyle. And the best part is that this program is totally free. You will receive a daily reminder of the class of the day, so there is no excuse. Click the link below to join the program and start enjoying the benefits of Yin Yoga from today.